Did Equinox hit the nail on the head when it came to their January marketing post that has gone viral? What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Daily Pursuit podcast. I am Coach Morgan, and I wanted to take the time today to discuss the notion of New Year's resolutions, the notion of not January that Equinox is or has posted about for their marketing content that has gone viral. And the reason I want to talk about this is because it's caused a lot of differing opinions. There's been clearly a divide in what people thought of it. Some people think it's great, other people think that it is gym shaming people. And so today I'm not going to get into the debate of that. What I want to lean into is the undertones of what they're saying in general, and how I actually agree with the undertones of what they're saying. Now, first and foremost, we need to acknowledge something. If we can't acknowledge this and be on an understanding level of this point, then this isn't going to be a conversation that goes anywhere. And so first and foremost, we need to acknowledge that they are a business that spends a large amount of money on understanding the audience that they serve and catering their marketing, aka their storytelling, towards that audience. If we can understand that marketing is storytelling and that a business is going to storytell to the audience that they are looking to serve, then we're not going to go anywhere in this conversation. However, if we can acknowledge that and understand that a business is going to market to the audience that they are looking to serve, and in doing so, we're going to attract the people that we want to serve, hopefully, but possibly we're going to irritate people that we're not looking to serve. And that's what's happened with this. That's what's happened with their post, is that it's going to attract those that believe and agree with the message, and it's going to irritate those that feel it's not inclusive to all people to go to the gym, it's gym shaming, etc. I want to go into some details and some actual facts about all of this. What they are doing is stating in their way, in their marketing way, their storytelling way, that the people they serve are those that aren't constantly setting New Year's resolutions, aren't looking at January 1st as New Year, New Me mentality. And I can get behind that, because I do believe that the New Year, New Me mentality is a broken system. It's a culture that doesn't serve anyone. And I say this because statistically, it has been proven so. Within the Journal of Clinical Psychology, they have found that it's at maybe around 8%, 9% of New Year's resolutions, New Year's resolutioners actually claim to succeed. 8 to 9% only. There is an 80+% failure rate within a small window of time. I think it's like 3 weeks window of time for people that set New Year's resolutions. Now, this isn't to say that you shouldn't set some goals for yourself. However, the notion that January 1st is that marker to do so, I think, is where the problem lies, is because people think that just by setting that outcome, writing it down, posting it on Instagram on January 1st, that is going to ultimately be the catalyst to get them the result, the motivation to get them to where they want to go. Now, again, 8 to 9% of people that do that say they succeed at it. So it has some ability to work. But if we want to see that number be higher, if, as a health and fitness professional myself, if our goal is to see more and more people in society be successful at the goals that they are striving for, at their health goals, their fitness goals, then we need to do a better job of helping them understand what it actually takes to see that success. And that's what the post was about, was that who they serve, who Equinox serves as a business, is not looking to serve people that set a New Year's resolution January 1st and then fall off the wagon 3 weeks later and it doesn't work. They're not looking to serve those people. The flip side of this is other businesses in the industry that also promote New Year stuff, marketing. They put out stuff in the new year, but they do promote that idea of New Year, New You. However, what they do is that they're looking to grab all those people that do that and then lock them into a contract that they don't actually show up for. This is known as ghost contracts or ghost clients, because these clients will sign up for the gym because of that New Year's resolution, and then they don't show up anymore. And that business relies on them not showing up. They're getting paid every single month, but those people aren't showing up. But they're locked in. So this is the thing that on either end of those spectrums, people are upset about how Equinox went about their marketing and their storytelling to their audience that they're looking to serve, the type of people that they're looking to serve. But also disregard the other side of that, which is companies promoting New Year's resolutions, do it, but not actually serving their audience, not actually caring that their audience, that their client base never shows up. Which one's in the wrong? Which one isn't as good? The one that provides a very high level service, a very high level product, they are saying, we're not looking for the New Year's resolutioners. The other one says, we want you, because then we'll lock you in. Whether you come or not doesn't matter to us. So, with that being said, with laying that out there, here is the thing that I want to help everyone understand about resolutions, about setting that, about that whole process, is that in order for us to overcome this culture of New Year's resolutions and just putting, if you post it on Instagram, then that's what's going to work and that's going to build momentum and or motivation, I should say, and that's going to help you succeed. Sorry, but it's not. That's not how it's going to work. And the reason for this is because we haven't done enough to change what we are accustomed to doing, to change what our mind is accustomed to doing. We haven't changed the neuroplasticity in our head. The habits and actions that we have been doing for the last 12 months aren't just suddenly going to change because on January 1st we said we're doing this thing. We need to start to put in place specific actions towards the process that is involved in making the change that we want. When you create, and again, this is where I say I don't have anything against people making New Year's resolutions, but where it's missed the mark is that they just make these outcomes, but they don't actually look at what is the process, reverse engineer back to where they are currently, and what's the next step in that process to actually succeed. They're focusing on the outcomes, not on the process involved. What Equinox is doing is they're saying, we want people that are focused on the process, that are focused on the journey, and we help them do that. So someone that's January 1st, our people are already mid-process. They're already in it. We're not looking for those that aren't committed to that process. And we should all be striving to align with that. Because again, this is not an outcome-based thing. You hit a certain mark in your journey, what's next? What happens after that? You achieve that goal that you set out to do, great, fantastic. Acknowledge that, appreciate that, celebrate the hell out of that. Then what happens after that? What is next? So we need to focus on that process. And that process involves making small incremental changes to our habits, to our actions on a day-to-day basis. And that's why just setting some goal of, I'm going to start hitting the gym again. Okay, cool. What does that mean? What are the changes that need to occur in your day-to-day life to make that a thing? What are you currently doing that's not allowing you to do that? Why is it that you're not consistently going to the gym already on December 30th or 31st? And all of a sudden on January 1st, that's going to suddenly change. No. What are the small incremental changes that we need to make in order to start to see that success happen? And then when we start to make those small incremental changes, let's celebrate the hell out of the wins that we do have so that we start to change the thought processes in our mind. So we start to change how our mind perceives the things that we are doing. Because again, our brain is going to create the environment or influence us to create the environment that it knows based on past experiences to be true about how we think, believe, feel, do. It's going to take all the past experiences that we've had, all of those expectations, hypotheses based on what we were doing, what our actions and habits have been, and it's going to try to recreate that. So we have to change its perception, its hypothesis. We do that through celebrating small wins along the way. There's something that I believe it was in James Clear's Atomic Habits book that he talks about someone that was looking to go to the gym and start building that habit. And they made it so that the habit wasn't actually going to the gym itself. It wasn't being at the gym and crushing their workout. They lived in New York. The habit was that the check mark, the celebration, happened by getting in the taxi that took them to the gym. That was the win. It didn't matter how the workout session went. It didn't matter how the training session went at the gym. It didn't matter if they hit their percentages or anything that way. The success was getting into the cab that took them there. Once they did that, they had succeeded. Now, what that means over time is that if you've already felt like you've succeeded, now you build off of that. Now that snowballs. Now you're building momentum. Now that training session that goes even better, that you do hit your mark in that training session, you have a great training session, that builds even more momentum for yourself. But just putting out that New Year's resolution is to go to the gym, that's not going to work. That's why over 80% of New Year's resolutioners fail within 3 weeks. And that's also why when people talk to me about, January must be great for you, for your businesses. January is not the time that truly the people that are sticking with it long term show up. February is actually the time. February is where we really lock in on people wanting to make a change. And the reason is because January 1st, people are going to put out these aspirational goals. They want to change some things. But 3 weeks later, it falls off because life happens. Kids go back to school, work picks up, all these things start happening, and all of a sudden, they haven't done the actual small incremental changes. They haven't focused on the process. They've just thrown out this outcome that they hope to achieve, and then 3 weeks later, it crashes and burns. Then come February, they realize, I probably need some greater help with this. Some of them do. And so that's where February comes in for people that are actually more likely to succeed. Now, the month doesn't really matter in all of this. January 1st is just a day in the year. You can choose to make some targets and some outcomes and some resolutions for yourself, some goals for yourself, any frickin' day of the year. It does not matter. You have 364 other days in the year after January 1st to make those changes that you desire. The point being is that, are you doing it with intention of the process in mind, or are you doing it just because the culture says that on January 1st you should make some resolutions that then you don't stick with, that then you get upset about, that then your brain goes, see, you failed again, you didn't succeed again, and then what happens? It's an endless loop that way because we're going to keep recreating what we previously have experienced and thought. We need to change that hypothesis. And the way we do that is by not focusing on it being a New Year's resolution or anything that way. We focus this on being a lifestyle process that we are implementing for our own health and success and wellness. Focus on the process, make incremental changes, and celebrate the hell out of the wins that you have. You start doing those things, no matter how small, you start to change how your mind thinks about it, how how your mind perceives it, and what you start focusing on changes. The small actions that you do in your day-to-day to lead to that success change, and you start to succeed more than you thought. That is what ultimately Equinox is talking about, is people that focus on that. That is who they serve. In the health and fitness industry, people get so lost as coaches and businesses and thinking that they serve everybody. We don't. We don't serve everybody in our businesses. Focus on the people that you serve. And if you're on the other end of that, trying to figure out what goals you want to have, focus on the